Yo, what's up guys? I'm Dr. P. Welcome back to the channel for another video. Now, this time I want to talk specifically about this bunker over at Wailing Woods. It's been a few weeks now since the Morse code light started blinking on this bunker, and we might be getting closer to figuring out what's to come next. Use code Dr. P in the Fortnite item shop if you're cool, drop a like on this video, and let's get into it. So, ever since June 18th, this bunker in Wailing Woods, which during the original Chapter 1 did nothing, all of a sudden it started blinking lights out of the window, Morse code actually signaling something is wrong. Interestingly enough, if a player decides to go up towards that bunker and investigate a little closer, the lights shut off completely. I'm pretty sure they cut off for everyone in the whole game if just one person approaches. It seems like this message being flashed through the windows is meant specifically for a certain person or group of people, and if anybody else gets close, they shut off the messaging. This is so interesting to me because this is a clear deviation from the plot of Chapter 1. It's almost like they felt bad about trolling us with that bunker for so long that now they're actually putting it to use, and hey, whatever the case is, I'm here for it. But that's not the only deviation, and I just realized this today. This is super interesting. So if you go and look at the back of the bunker, you'll see all these strange inscribings on it. It looks kind of like a UFO, some squiggly lines, kind of hard to make out, but I remember making videos where I was breaking down this logo, this inscription, in every way possible, talking about what it might mean. When I was looking today at the bunker in 2025, it suddenly hit me that there are no markings. Also, less importantly, now when you go look into the bunker, there is just a patch of grass that is immediately under those windows, whereas back in the day when you looked down those windows, you could pretty much see what was down there, and it was nothing. We know that as far as the map changes go for this whole OG chapter, they're going to mirror that of the original Chapter 1. But as far as the events and the storyline stuff goes, it looks like they're already taking a different direction. And now, given this Morse code thing really makes me think the Visitor's rocket launch in about 3 weeks is going to be maybe twisted up a bit. But anyway, the natural question has to be asked now. Who is flashing those lights at the bunker? During Chapter 2, Season 8, it was revealed that these bunkers are basically a gateway into the IO. Here's a theory from Lego in my Discord. By the way, if you want to be on video and just generally talk lore with me, you should join the Discord. He says Dr. Sloan is sending the distress signals. After Jones traveled back to Chapter 1 in Chapter 4, Sloan said they'd meet again. Post-Big Bang, the OG reality, possibly Reality 157, trapped Sloan, making her relive Chapter 1. If she lost her memories, something must have triggered her. Maybe seeing the Visitor or another Jones to send Morse code distress signals. If OG is tied to Chapter 6, this could be how Jones and Sloan finally reunite. Remember, Sloan was recruited to the IO before Chapter 1 by Jano to be a part of the IO's island management team. So, in Chapter 1 Season 4, the season depicted she would still be a part of the IO, which would line up with the Chapter 2 Season 8 reveal. I personally really love all the Dr. Sloan theories because, as Huntmaster Sans points out, Hope has basically been prophesizing about Dr. Sloan for some time now. And as we know, her art reveals the future. Here's something else that might relate to the blinking bunker lights. Shout out to Restro for this. Omega Alpha might be working for the Imagined Order. In the Omega defense loading screen, we can all basically see Omega fighting the Visitor in the government's facility within Dusty Divot. Now, the description of this loading screen simply says, no visitors allowed. That would be visitors with a lowercase v. Remember, back in the original Chapter 1 Season 4, Carbide, Omega, all those guys were just actors on a movie set. But now it looks like these are actually real fighters, real people with real missions to accomplish, as we can see with Omega Alpha fighting the Visitor. Interestingly enough, this image is representing the future because the Visitor hasn't even broken out of the meteor in the middle of Dusty Divot yet. Here's a theory from Huntmaster Sans in the Discord, which says OG was likely meant to be Reality 157. After the Big Bang event, a duplicate of Chapter 1 and the island management team may have been placed in a new reality, just like Remix. The tricky part is the 0 point. But if it's infinite energy, maybe it can just create another one. That would explain why OG is repeating the same events, because it has its own 0 point. If this is canon, it could show how the Imagined Order returns and how Jano rises again. One of the main stumps anybody has had with trying to connect OG to Chapter 6 is the 0 point, because we know the 0 point is shattered. Yet at the same time, when we look through that portal at Utopia City, we seem to see a fully intact 0 point. But where is it? What is the exact location of this image through the portal? Of course, the vault was first seen in Chapter 1, Season 8, and if we know we're going to be reliving the events pretty much as they were, it's safe to say that this island probably does have its own 0 point, especially if things are happening as closely as they did around the first time. Even so, though, there would be a lot of explaining to do on the part of Epic Games. And who knows, there is at least the faint possibility that the OG game mode here could turn out not to be canon at all, even though at this point that seems very unlikely. One thing's for sure though, whoever is down there in that bunker flashing the lights is now fully aware that something about this timeline, something about this island is off, just enough to make it so where things are wrong. Maybe it stems from the fact that whoever is in there flashing those lights knows that the visitor is in the meteorite at the divot where they are excavating. Maybe they can't flat out say it because they're not supposed to know, but what they can do is start flashing out distress signals. I think it's possible part of the Big Bang event with the time machine created a new version of Chapter 1 while taking into account the past of everything that had happened up until that point. That would certainly put a lot of Sloan's voice lines during the OG season into better context.
This is the first time in countless lifetimes that I don't know what happens next. We're both heading off into the unknown. I guess this is goodbye for this me and that you. But we'll meet again. Reality's not done with us yet. Keep the campfires burning, Jones. Wherever and whenever you go.
Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to leave your theories in the comment section down below and join the Discord. I would love to have lore conversations with you guys. It really is a lot of fun.